Bom dia. Bom dia. Hi, Mark. Guten Morgen. Bom dia. How are you guys all doing? So I switched myself back to this bedroom, right? Maybe it's just coincidence. The last time I slept in here, like in the middle of the night, I couldn't sleep. I was freezing, I was sweating, I was freezing, I was sweating, I was freezing, I was sweating. That happened the last time I was in this room too. I'm going to take magnesium and see what happens tonight. But I think that's why I went out there in the first place. I was like, fuck, I just need to sleep somewhere else. So how are you? Good morning, Jonathan. I'm feeling fine, sweetheart. Thank you very much. I'm just about to have my literal first real sip of coffee today, so. I'm out of oat milk, so I'm using coconut oil, which is really good too, but it's not quite as good. Yep, so that's the thing. Yeah, wake and bake for real, yo. Let's do it. Oh, you know what? That's interesting. I should try that too sometimes. Yeah, I've done that in the past. Um, yeah, I don't know what it is. I'm thinking maybe I don't like this blanket, so I'm gonna see if I can find. I need to get some really good down comforters for winter time, you know, that go in duvet covers. I need to find some of those because they've always been my most favorite. No, OnlyFans. Yeah, Jonathan, thank you. That it was good pizza. I ate some chocolate. I'm not bloated today. My eyes are puffy though, but that could just be from crying yesterday. Maybe, but I've tried I've tried rearranging it a bunch of different ways. I'm pretty familiar with feng shui as well. Um, Maybe I just don't like this blanket. I don't know. We'll figure it out though. You guys, the mugs are available and ready now. If anybody wants, if you want to walk around with these super cool looking mugs and travel things with Buddy and Shadow that says I'm a dog too, coffee with dogs, they're available now. Just follow that link tree and you'll be able to find that, I think. The Printify store, they're so cute. I've got other ones, I'm making more, but people were asking me when I first started using my mug, they wanted, I want one, I want one. So now I have some more. I do have the travel sizes. I do have other things up there for you guys to check out. So there you go. Thank you, Mark. What kind of dogs are they? Bloodhound, Pyrenees, Border Collie, Lab, Mutts. What's up, Emojin? Kitty, kitty, kitty. Kitty, 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 kitty. Oh, Lorna's here. I didn't see. Oh, there's Lorna. Hey, girl. There's a moving truck outside, so I'm getting some new neighbors. Banba. 54. Whew. Northeast India? Hi, Northeast India. What shadow? You can come up here. Shadow's a good boy. He's a good boy. Shadow, 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 shadow. You can lay down. Let me see. Looks like he's like a little infected there, but he's got a stuffed up one side of his nose. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. Come here, kitty. Come here, kitty. Thank you, iceberg. This is double mints. Kitty, kitty. Kitty, kitty. Oh, what's up, High Temple? How are you, honey? Oh, that's how I'm supposed to, yeah. We've done that. It doesn't get that shit out. Oh, that's nice. That sounds nice. Old, I'm just gonna have to call you Relic, I guess. You grow your own? That's cool. Who else grows their own here? That's, Atwiz. Where's Atwiz? Oh, they get along well. He is Pyrenees Border Collie Lab, but he's very, very plot hound. This one, Shadow. Plot hound, I mean, he's very, very Pyrenees, my bad. Pyrenees do not have a prey drive because they've got to guard the livestock. Atwiz, there he is. Someone else was just saying, Amy Swallow says she grows. And so he does well with the cat. I mean, once in a while they get into a thing, right? I don't know why. Kitty. Yeah, Jonathan, you need to come to the U.S. I think you're not very happy where you are, babe. Come on. You probably love living, you know, like with me and Mark in our state. You could come play with us, visit us. Mark's and my state. Hydroponics. Darren, I don't understand why, though. It's a weed. It seems like it should be really easy. Like, are you meaning to tell me the original people that smoked weed, like, did some, like, massive, like, cultivation project and had the right hydroponics? That doesn't even sound like it makes sense to me. Hey, Mikai and Chris and Andy, hello. This is, again, I said this is fudge double mints. They all, you know, the strains, they all have such weird names. Does anybody even know what I mean when I say double mints? Y'all, lay off, okay? The water in the bong is clean. We clean it all the time with 91% isopropyl alcohol and kosher salt. The stuff that doesn't come out just doesn't come out. The water is clean. I know, Mark. I know you like to grind your weed. The water's clean. The stuff that you see that isn't coming out, we've tried to take out. Exactly doing what you said. The heated up alcohol and the coarse salt. All right? Chill the fuck out. Punch Monkey. What they name them doesn't taste the same for most of those strains. Yeah, it's just really weird how they do it. Look on the link tree for any links that you want, Matthew. Doesn't taste like mint to me. I have no fucking clue. Hey, Cedric, you guys remind me to sit up straight. You know how much I tend to like try to lean in to read the thing. Maybe I need to move you closer. I mean, that's basically, Becky, that's basically what I do. Don't think they're not growing it. They probably are growing it and exporting it. I bet Australian weed would be amazing. Oh my God. Minties and violet crumble. Yeah, see, I have no idea. Bet you might. Oh my gosh, you guys. So yesterday, the sound of the air blowing through my vents started triggering me. And when I mean trigger, I don't mean like snowflake trigger. I mean like clinical trigger. If you don't know what it means, the clinical term trigger is, look it up. I started getting triggered by this stupid sound of the air flowing through my vents, and I just had to be like, I had to put the kibosh on that. Because I was so sensitive yesterday from my son going off to college, I was all emotional. So then everything else, like other triggers, have greater impact on those days, which are very few and far between, might I add. Anybody who knows me will tell you. I mean, I literally poker face my way through life. Is that bad? Aphrodisiac? I don't know, but I can tell you that if it does, the dry cottonmouth part of it really fucks shit up. Hate that. Maybe, Mark, but this was happening last year too. There's a little high-pitched whistle sound in my air vents a few days ago, and it was, oh my God. Fake it till you make it. Exactly. Like, how do you get by in this world without going absolutely nuts, Tony? Hi, Jeremy, K-Town Chef, how are you? CPTSD, I know what you're saying, unfortunately. Yeah, I was diagnosed on the autistic spectrum almost, it's been 9 years now, you guys. 8 or 9 years ago. And boy, oh boy, it doesn't make your life easier to be diagnosed in a way, but it does in a way, because then you can, it's like having, being in Chicago and looking at the map of New York. And then someone gives you a map of Chicago all of a sudden, and you're like, holy schnizzle, man. I've been looking at the wrong map the whole time. Good morning, Outwiz. How are you, honey? Do a yoga stream? Maybe. My shoulders are really tight. Yes, Jonathan. Jonathan, I'm thinking there might be a possibility you're on the spectrum with me, honey. Have you ever thought of that? Have you ever considered that? Oh, yeah. They seem to be able to block stuff out better, right? 32. Bexy, not only zero support, but zero even awareness or understanding. In a lot of those situations, when you look back, you're like, oh shit, this and this. You remember things, you're like, oh, that's because I'm autistic. Oh, that's because that's, I was diagnosed at 45 years old, and had I known, not only, yes, would I have had support, however, I would have taken a different approach myself. I like no suit, birthday suit. I'm a birthday suit kind of girl. It's time to stop. You have autism. It's so funny because I go around, and I have a channel based on the autism stuff, right? And I go around, I was visiting the creators. If I would have said tism on one of their channels, they'd be like, that's offensive. Get fucking over it. I did a video called Tism Eyes on my other channel. No, that's ableist. I'll call myself and refer to the things about me any way I want to. I don't have to conform to the groupthink. Yeah, Lorna. You know, probably the people who attract to this channel, just saying. If you guys like me, it's because you're autistic. Neurotypicals do not like me. A birthday suit try on. I did that for the IRL, and then it after those very highly inappropriate streams that can get me kicked off of YouTube, I delete them and move them over to my Patreon members. If people knew you were on the spectrum, they'd use it against you. Maybe. You don't have to tell anybody. At first, when I was diagnosed, I was telling everybody, and I saw why. Just don't tell anybody. Fuck those people. And the people that have known me my whole life, who I told, they're like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Thanks. A little weird. Yeah, people have always told me I was weird. Oh, Akuma, do you have a topic you want to talk about? Everybody, Akuma says shut up. So let's see what Akuma wants to talk about. Nothing? Akuma, you want to talk about nothing? Maybe that's why you only have one subscriber. Where is the proof? Show us the proof, and then I can probably take some of you clowns seriously. That's really, really interesting. Very deep. Dude, you ain't saying nothing. What are you even talking about? Nonsense. Literal nonsense. And when I say nonsense, I mean having no sense. Yeah. Well, you know, the Patreon doesn't get mad at me for stuff that I do. So if something is too... If something was... Who were you talking to? Akuma, honey? Who were you talking to like that on my stream? Oh my God, look at my eyes are like so fucked up from yesterday. Hey, the Grunt Museum, how are you, honey? How does that guy believe in air? I'm not sure what that means. Pretty mouth? Oh, thank you. Dashana's here. Good morning, namaste, goddess. How are you? Oh, do I? Is that what I do? What are you doing? I think that's what you're doing. Akuma, you get on YouTube to self-project and get attention from random people. I'll start yoga in just a little bit, yes. Akuma is in pain because Akuma hates Akuma. That's what's wrong with Akuma. Akuma's parents hate Akuma. Everybody at school hates Akuma because Akuma's like 14, 15. Kitty. Oh my God. Oh, fuck. I'm always so sore. Hi, Kathleen. Hi, Olive. Get my life together while you doom scroll. You doom scroll on YouTube. You're paying me, troll. You realize that, right? Tell me. What? You want to come up here? Huh? You want to come up? Begsy, it's fine, dude. You know what? I don't care about that stuff at all. You know what? If you have another streamer that you like, whatever. I mean, don't post links, but it doesn't matter to me. It's all good, bro. Yeah, Akuma, if you were here yesterday, which you weren't, yeah, I was having a really bad day yesterday, and I was talking about it a little bit earlier. You know, if you weren't such a douchebag, you'd know that. But thanks for coming on my channel, and thanks for now. Mark has timed you out. You could try again tomorrow, bro. Yeah, I am having a bad day. Look at me. I was having a bad day yesterday. Coming on here and telling people to shut up. I will never think of you again after this moment. Bye. I do have Zelly. Well, Jaywalker, I talked about it. So, my son was home from school for what, 3.5 months. They come home. And then yesterday he went back off to college for his sophomore year. Okay, we're not going to talk about it today. But then I got a chance to talk to him last night in depth a little bit. My younger son and I sat here on the bed and video chatted with my older son who's in his dorm now. And, you know, he's not happy to be back, honestly. And that hurts the most. It's like, what happened, Tashana? What? Let's talk about your bad day instead of mine. I'm sorry, but really. Thank you, Mark. Right there is the I think all those are in the link tree too, aren't they? Oh my God, Jaywalker, that's awful. I homeschooled my children. I'm still homeschooling my 14-year-old. My 20-year-old son, he was scouted to Penn State for baseball. He's not playing baseball. It's a good thing. But he's there, and he's going for his second year right now in for business degree, and he doesn't want to be there. He's not enjoying it yet. I think he will this year. Last year sucked, but he still managed to get out of there his first year with a 3.5, and there was a lot of drama. There's a lot of negative attention turned toward him. He draws a lot of attention just because he's 6'5". He's a switch hitter. He's genius IQ in all of his classes. So all these stupid baseball players treated him like shit. But then they wanted his help at test time. They wanted to study with him. They wanted his help at test time. You know, it's just like high school. So now this, hopefully hopefully this year he'll have a happier, more fun time, right? Oh, honey, you know what? Tashana, if I may, what I'm getting from the things that you're telling me, it's just like if someone's not eating enough fruits and vegetables, right? I feel like you're not laying flat enough on the ground. I know you've heard me say that 1,000 times, right? I'm like, I just feel like those little things, you're inflamed. You got inflammation. Please ground. Please find time where you go to just stand outside on the grass at the end of the day or in the morning. Maybe have your coffee standing in the grass somewhere that's connected to the earth. I bet you anything, if you do that for just 1 week, and maybe even in a squat, are you able to squat and sit? Like, not sit your butt, even if you sit your butt on the ground, it doesn't matter. Just squat and sit like this and have your coffee in a little plot of grass, no matter where you go. Because this will also give you that nice low back stretch. I'm not trying to like unsolicited advice you to death, but you know, that's what I would do. And I gotta talk about stuff on my channel. So thank you. Thank you for making yourself my topic. I appreciate you, girl. But I really do. If you ground yourself to the earth, it's going to reduce inflammation. And if you do a little squat, curl, stretch thing, it's going to kind of release your lower back, and maybe even just do like a couple little twists while you're laying there on the ground. Oh my God. But I stretch and ground. Good, 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 good. All those things. No, someone brought it to my attention that I'm not eating enough produce. And so that was my example of like, it's one of those things where it felt like your body might be thirsty for those things. You're doing them, degenerative disc disease. Yikes. Jonathan, right? Laying down on your back flat. Isn't that how we're supposed to sleep at night? Could you imagine if we were sleeping how we were supposed to be sleeping, flat on the ground at night? All night long. We wouldn't just be grounding for 20 minutes. We wouldn't just be resetting our skeleton, our musculature and everything for 20 minutes. We'd be doing it all night. We'd be getting the twists. We'd be getting activating all those pressure points. Chewy. Chewy, you seem like a very miserable person who trolls on YouTube. So we're a match made in heaven. No, I'm not miserable, honey. You're sweet, though. You can stay here because you're miserable. I'm actually here for people who are struggling. And sometimes I'm struggling. And if you were here yesterday and today, you'll know I'm struggling. It's my turn to struggle today. So you can stay if you'd like to be a kind and compassionate person. And then when it's your turn, we will be kind and compassionate towards you, because it does seem like you're really struggling. Oh, wow. Cora, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that so very much. You know, it is natural for men, for boys to leave and go far, far away. You know, maybe this feeling is what inspires men to make families. The trunk bunk, you know, I know you're taking care of yourself, though. For a proper bed. Yeah, those beds are made of rubber. I'm sleeping on one too. I probably, you know, it's like I don't want to sleep on the floor here because it's just rubber too. It's carpeting with carpet padding under it. It's rubber. Walking barefoot is key. Mike said it right there. Boom. University. So, you know, maybe he'll meet someone that reminds him of his mama in all the good ways. I've let my boys know, if you meet a woman with an unhealthy period, I mean, like, literally, you guys, just pass on that. It adds an element of struggle. It's like, I'm sorry, anybody who's alcoholic, but if you meet someone who's an alcoholic and you're not a drinker and you're not from that world or whatever, pass. Find someone who's already healthy. It just makes life so much easier. And sorry, alcoholics, I know it's a disease, but I tell people I have PMDD, right? If you meet a woman with PMDD who's really struggling with her periods, just pass. Unless you're really, really prepared. Oh, thank you so much, Tashana. Thank you. Oh, Joey, my sushi skills. Thank you so much. Oh, Mac, I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you. Oh, fuck. Well, black coffee with coconut milk, or I mean coconut oil, I do drink it a lot slower. Jono, 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 Jono. I'm just going to go ahead and let you sit with a statement about a woman's health issue as a man. You go ahead and sit there with that, all right, honey? Thank you, Drew. How are you doing? How's it going up there? How's the house coming along, babe? Oh my God. So Beekza, I thought you were a dude. Listen, my other channel, I have a very in-depth, Jonathan, this is a trigger for me. I'm going to have to ask you as a man to just listen, not talk. This is a trigger for me, yo. I'm really sensitive, even with Dr. Berg talking about PMDD, talking about ADHD, talking about things he doesn't actually experience, but he's talking as a doctor. So he says PMDD is women who don't want, they want to suffer. Dr. Berg says PMDD is for women who want to suffer. Other people say, take St. John's wort. Take this thing. Listen, y'all, I want to let everyone know I love herbal. PMDD is not PMS. PMDD is definitely not to be fucking taken lightly. I have a video on it in my other channel. Massachusetts streets, you know what? It's funny because when you said Massachusetts, I'm thinking Mississippi. Mississippi has the worst streets ever. The streets in Massachusetts suck. Listen, please, since you drive all over the place, do it, just please do a poll for me, a study. Take a little data, a little study, right? Just check mark when you go through, or make notes when you go through red states and blue states. I have a theory about the infrastructure of the streets in red states versus blue states. And if you can just help me out, because you travel, I've traveled a lot. That's why I have a theory. I've driven across this country on the 10, 40, and 80 multiple times, and up and down the 75 and the 95 like crazy, right? I have a theory about the infrastructure of red states versus blue states. PMDD for one day. So PMDD is the only DSM listing that's strictly female. PMDD is premenstrual dysphoric disorder. It's not PMS, yo, and it's not like, it can get really, really bad. Many women have very, very bad physical symptoms. I do have some physical symptoms. Mine are mood. It's listed in the DSM as a mood disorder, which I definitely fucking have and have had. Before I knew, it was much worse than it is now, because now I know. And I had to look and understand what was happening and why I was having such a very, 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 very hard time. Half the month. Connecticut. I mean, please just like write down what state you're in and how are the streets. Please, I really, really, really want to know. So I did a video on my other channel on PMDD because it got so bad for me that for several months there in the end of, I want to say, I don't know, 2017, 2018, something like that, I became unalive. I tried to unalive myself a bunch of times. Y'all, that shit, here's the thing. Women with PMDD, if they get to that point, they fail a bunch of times until they realize it doesn't work. The reason they fail a bunch of times is because they're not like that all the time. It comes on during, it's very impulsive. Impulsive people don't have plans. It's an impulse. And that's why it doesn't work, is because you need a plan. I mean, it does maybe sometimes, but they fail many, many times until they realize this is the case. And then they have to realize they have to have a plan, right? And that's when it gets really dangerous. They might even reach out and ask for help, but there's no help. If help doesn't work, after a while, they get tired and they stop asking for help. They don't even want help anymore. They just want out. And that's when it gets dangerous. And I've showed you guys this before, and that's what that is. Didn't fucking work. That was the third attempt, because the other different tries, different kinds of ways, didn't work either. Okay. So, Jonathan, are you asking me if I've tried herbal remedies? So what I'm saying is, if you are single, if you do not have health issues, mental health issues and stuff like that, what you really, really want to do, my advice, is find someone that's a really good match for you, a good fit. A good fit is probably going to be someone who's also just about as healthy as you, right? I've gotten to the point where I really don't want to inflict myself on someone. I don't really... Black screen, probably. I've gotten to the point where I don't know what you mean you have those on your other arm. Those what? So these big unaliving marks. Some people like cut themselves. That's not what this was. When I showed it to my doctor begging for help, I thought he was going to like make the call, lock me up for a little while, get me some real help. He just said, "You're playing with fire." I'm like, I'm not playing, dude. I'm not fucking playing. This isn't cutting. I don't have cuts. I don't have any scars anywhere on my body unless it's from me being injured and cut open and or stitched up or something like that. Not playing. Not playing. And they don't go across, because I learned that's like doesn't really work. I went up. I'm just saying. This is not a happy topic, right? This is going to have to be probably some kind of... Okay, so Beckzy, does your partner help you through these times? Is it physical for you? Is it mood for you? Because PMS can be very, very physical. PMDD can be too, but it's mood. So here's how I've heard it said, right? A woman with PMD can get up if she feels like crap. She starts her period, right? She gets up in the morning, gets dressed for work. She goes to work. She feels like crap. She goes home. She makes dinner for the kids. Husband deal, feels like crap, goes to bed. She feels better the next day. A woman with PMDD feels like crap for like 2 weeks, a week, maybe leading up to that, like really, really serious garbage. And she will get up, feel like crap, go to work, get in an argument with maybe an employer, her boss, get fired, maybe not do her job right, get fired, go home, maybe, who knows, destructive, a pattern of destruction. Maybe start drinking, maybe forgets to pick the kids up from school, maybe the ex-husband gets... This is not my life story, I'm just telling you. Maybe she... the husband is called to pick the kids up from school. It's not his day. CPS is called. The kids are taken away from her. The custody is changed. It's a cascading effect. Her life goes crazy, down, 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 and she tries to kill herself and kill herself. You know what I mean? When I hear these stories of women who have gone off the rails, I think they could possibly be in a PMDD state. And there's no help for them in this country. In other countries, I've heard there are. But then when I talk about it on this channel, you guys let me know there's not. It's insane how many people are comfortable asking strangers about scars on their body. I mean, I've been asked about this a ton of times. I think we're curious about each other, you know? No worries, dude. No worries. You brought it up. I asked because you brought it up. I thought you wanted to talk about it. So yeah, I had a plan eventually. Oh my God, Bexa. See, I get the internal tension that eventually turns into rage, that eventually turns into destructive behavior. Not anymore. This doesn't happen anymore. Before I knew, and then I was in all these toxic situations, I had realized not only am I dealing with this, but I'm also in toxic situations. And then I also learned that I was on the spectrum about the same time. And those things going hand in hand in the toxic relationships and toxic environment. A female, yeah. Thank you, Eliza. Oh my God, Eliza, thank you so much. You know, I also realized yesterday, the day before, that I was really not sharing my life with you guys. I was just reading the chat because I don't want to feel like I'm sitting here narcissistically sharing my stories and getting some charge out of it. I literally hate talking about this stuff, but I don't have anything, but I am autistic, Sam. I was diagnosed on the spectrum at 45 years old. Not looking for that diagnosis. I was not even aware. Someone brought it to my attention. I went and had a diagnosis with a psychologist. Probably, it's hard to say whether they would call it on the spectrum. Neurodivergence, autism, a little autistic, a lot autistic, low support needs, high support needs, high functioning, low functioning. It's all these different ways to say it. And then they used to separate Asperger's and put it over here. That wasn't really a spectrum. It's like either you're Asperger's or you're not. I could qualify for either of those because when I was diagnosed, it hadn't been merged into autism yet. So I have a very high IQ and other like weird social things, which makes me like Asperger's. But then the late speech and all the social problems and the time blindness, body blindness, and all the face fucking blindness. I don't exist. I have a hard time plugging in to this dimension, autism. You get me? You feel me? Oh, Andy. I don't know why you would get timed out. I can see your question, but let me tell you something, okay? They probably know this, but if they don't and aren't doing this, I've heard about these physical therapies for burn victims and these burn victims who wish they would have known about the specific physical therapy long ago, which they're probably doing for you. And all I can do is tell you about it for you to Google if you're able to. If you're here, you're able to. Aaron, hi. Can I simply explain autism? Yes, I will. 1 second. Yeah. And sorry, Jonathan, I do honestly, I am really sensitive about men talking about women's issues, especially this particular one, because I honestly promise you there's no way you can understand. And so the imposter syndrome. So, okay, Bexy, I feel the same way. Like, this channel makes me feel weird. I don't like talking about myself. I don't like talking about, but then someone said yesterday, don't talk about yourself, talk about your life. And that made a little more sense to me. I think if it makes you uncomfortable to do it, you're not really narcissistic, because narcissists love it. They want everything to be centered on them. And I realized that over the weeks I had centered everything back on my chat and made it like taken the focus off of me, which I'm more comfortable that way. But really, it's this that you guys kind of, we all need it. You guys and I do. Vegan people? I don't have thoughts about vegan people. Okay, thank you for that, Mark. Sam, correct. There's no way I would understand men's issues except as they relate to women. We've had extensive conversations because I've been asked about men's size. Does size matter? And so that's a men's issue, but it's as it relates to women. And you can't know that except for how it relates to women. Correct, Jonathan. Yeah. Yeah. You can definitely witness it through women in your life, right? And so that's a very important perspective. So I would like to hear that perspective instead of trying to help me figure out how to deal with my PMDD. I'd love to hear your perspective on how it affected you as a man. Chris, okay. If I sound very narcissistic to you, why are you here commenting? Unless you're the narcissist. Joey, yeah, I hear you, bro. I see that too online. I just stop watching other creators and just be me. I don't really care what other people are doing. It really, it didn't make my life easier, but it helped me to understand why things were the way they were and make adjustments, course corrections. So I would say that to explain autism, first of all, you're going to have to learn the terms. Portugal, a 5.4. No, that's not good. Portugal, they're after Portugal. No, I'm kidding. So I look at this, you've got to understand the terms neurotypical, neurodivergent. Okay, neurotypicals are like everybody else. They can function in the world. They think like they're running the basic programming like Windows, let's say. And then you've got your neurodivergence. They're the high IQ, maybe high creative, high just, they've got some kind of thing going on there. Probably don't fit that great into society, probably an outcast or recluse, introverted most of the time, and may seem to be very robotic, but inside they're super gooey a lot of the time with a lot of empathy and emotion that they have to kind of put on lockdown, or else that shit just oozes out. That those are possibilities. So this kind of person can be autistic, and the spectrum of autism can go from someone who can basically function in life, take care of themselves, hold down a job, even have a family and children, brush their teeth, feed themselves and this stuff, and then go further and further onto a spectrum over to the autistic person who has extremely high support needs and low function as far as being able to care for themselves. They will never be able to feed for themselves, live alone, nothing like that. Very high support needs. So that's the spectrum. It's like the spectrum of your gas tank. Is it full or empty? Oh no, Tashana. Every argument was turned to be your fault. It was always being done to him or about him. Yeah, the gaslighting is insane, right? If I detect that someone's trying to make me the bad guy in the scenario in life, in like little tiny daily things, I'm the bad guy, I'm the bad guy, I'm the bad guy all the time, I'm the bad guy, I'm the bad guy, I'm the bad guy, I can't do anything right, everything's wrong because of me, I'm out. I'm out. Been there, done that. Bye-bye. They might not even know they're doing it. I don't give a fuck. Bye. Oh, Beck Z. I'm sorry. Oh. They're always right. What's the difference between being always right and being stubborn? And why do we always talk about women being narcissists and not that often men? Do you guys know my baby's laying with me? I'm just, I'm just spitballing here, right? As Mark would say. Albert, hi. Male narcissists are more common. Okay, so let's talk about it from a clinical sense, all right? In the DSM, there's antisocial personality types. And under antisocial personality type, you're going to find the narcissist, the sociopath, and the psychopath, right? And yes, you're right. I think more commonly, clinically, they're considered to be men historically from diagnoses. But we also know that these diagnoses historically were only given to men. Women didn't get the health care. Yes, men can be narcissistic, absolutely. I'm not saying they can't. I'm just saying that a lot of the times when I see comments about people being narcissistic, it seems like 80% of the time they're about women. But clinically, I think you're correct. Men can't be whatever. Grandiose, narcissistic, while women are more likely to be vulnerable. Oh, interesting. Okay, thank you for that differentiation there. Vulnerable narcissists tend to be harder to detect. Interesting. Jonathan, oh, absolutely. And they're 10% at least. The whole antisocial group might be more than 10%. I know that sociopaths and psychopaths are about 10%, so 1 in 10 people. And then 1 in 10 people, that one person, where do they gravitate towards in like work and places like that? So it just, I think, depends if you're like coming in contact with more of them than normal. But it's good if you understand, can see them, and know how to deal with them, because they're people too, right? They can't help it. And even if they don't really understand it about themselves, and it comes out in maybe a less positive way in society, if you know it about them, you can offer them some compassion just by dealing with them in a way that is functional, I think. Yeah, Tashana, and not directly you can't. I've learned that there's a lot of indirect way to do things, I'm like super direct and super black and white, but there's definitely indirect way to do things. And I think for some people that's kind of natural, and for other people it's a learned skill. Xerxes? Okay, X. I'm calling you X. X. Okay, can we get just a little backstory, please? Yes, we are here to help each other. And I would love to know just a little bit more about what's going on. Tashana, and that's what I like. Even if there's a little bit of friction and grit there, I would rather have you approach or confront or let's talk about it for real. And let me know what you really think and let me know how you really feel. I would rather do that. And then let's get over it. If it keeps dragging the fuck out forever, though, after a while, are you like, I'm over it? But yeah, I mean, like, bring it to me. I really want to know. Because I have a really hard time decoding and detecting. I don't know if someone's being nice or mean. Just out with it. Out with it. Oh, thank you, Chris. That's so sweet. Yeah. They do not like to be challenged. So Xerxes, yeah, sneaky, right? Which is so weird to me. For me, it's I can appreciate that, right? I ain't got time for the drama, right? I can appreciate that efficiency. Let's just get to it. But at the same time, I don't understand anything else. Like if you weren't literally just telling me something, I'm not gonna get it, yo. I'm not gonna get it. You gotta just tell me, or I don't fucking get it. And you know what? I probably won't get offended. I mean, especially if you give it a little bit of thought and put it in a way that's like, okay, let me think about how to put this. But I understand if you're trying to have a conversation and give me some credible feedback, I want to hear that, especially if you're someone that I've said is credible in my life. Otherwise, I don't care, but so when it comes to getting out of a toxic relationship, number one. So you've got a couple different questions here. Drop in the comments so I can see you again in your name. There's a couple different issues going on here. One is how to get out of the toxic relationship. Number two is how to avoid one in the future. Trust, right? There's a lot to unpack there. There's a lot in that answer. I mean, we could talk for days about it, right? How to get out of a toxic relationship and how to make sure you don't get in another one and how you can trust again. Let me ask you a question. How long did you know this person before you were in a relationship where you were like locked in? And it's time to smoke. Where's my bong? My bell. I'm not going to show you guys my bong anymore because people are like, clean your bong. Yo, the water's clean. And the bong comes, that's as clean as I can get it with boiling hot isopropyl alcohol and salt, coarse salt, so I don't want to hear it again. Alexa, play music.
Here's a mix for you.
I guess I'm sensitive today, Mark. Hi, Aaron. How are you, babe? Off. Good boy. Jonathan's got the shadow page! Yes, we are, Aaron. Yeah, so anyway, I'm going to have to up my magnesium today and see if I can get a better night of sleep. Let me grab something else to drink. I'll be right back. Turn you so you can look at my beautiful little bookshelf there. And my beautiful little pillow right there that I love so much. I'll be right back. Whew.